Yeah, he stole a lot of my act, but I'm glad he's a much better teacher than I would ever be. And he does an amazing transformation of things and a passion for teaching that you're lucky to have. I'll help you stuff. What he said, this is somewhere between Moses has the 12 commandments and the 12 steps in one hand and one in the other. But these really kind of, I just listen and hear him explain, but make sure you can try to find a copy of these because you can always look, this is something I would keep and look back upon. One, you need your audience a lot more than they need you. Behave accordingly. Beautiful, simple little metaphors. Two, study your heroes until you find out their heroes are, then study them. And as you said, they go one further. I would add to that. I'm your competition, and I'm not turning over my audience to you because your mommy likes you. You got to earn the audience, is what I would say to that.
We're going to kick your ass. We are here to keep an audience. If you don't take care of your audience, Jimmy and I are going to steal them from you. And we are playing hardball. Now, eventually, Jimmy and I are old, and we will fade and die. You are young, and you will eventually win, but make sure you understand that you will have been in a fight for that crown. So wake up.
That's true. I started a few audiences in my time from people that weren't paying attention. Your parents didn't have you. They had sex and you showed up. Yeah, you are you, your parents are them, and particularly when you tell them that you're going to pursue a job as a creative person, you're on your own, probably, but it is also great to have their support, but usually you're not doing what they did in a lot of cases. 5, never be sick, tired, or busy. That means you got to learn to play hurt. You can never bitch on stage about sound, anything happening. Anytime there's ever a conflict, which will happen sometimes in the audience, you don't look at it. You observe the people that are having fun. Let the other person who's the professional take care of that and mind your audience. And it's the same thing. It's an amazing thing, adrenaline, when I remember those games with Michael Jordan, in the championship, and he's sick, and he's throwing them also. Guess what? The bell goes off, he shows up, and you have to do that. Your chain and your ability to be aware of and work on your weakest links will make you strong and compassionate. Very wise words. See everything, know nothing. Not true words are spoken about an audience, because my two are never forget to duck, and don't forget it can all go to hell at any minute. And you got to be able to deal with both of those. I don't have to duck much anymore. That's all the best. They won't accept your passion until they're held by your discipline. That is very true of performers. The people that show up late or cancel, stuff like that, will not be around long because audience will simply not go. You have to respect your crowd. Advocate bravely for the artistic compromises that you have to make. This is not easy. Never was easy, and you know that, getting in. And it's always nice to remind yourself of that, too. Practice. Still practicing. Always. Do not assign to any person, place, or thing your pain. Own your broken heart. And there's a lot of ways that you can think about that. There are times when it's difficult and things happen in the world. And again, you may think it's not the time to play, but when an audience shows up, like in a catastrophe or something, and it's happened to me, them showing up means they want to be taken away from that catastrophe. And that's your job, as hard as it is on those kind of occasions. You still need to show up and take care of your crowd. Do not, yeah. You choose to be a creator. Do not complain. That is true. Yeah, own it. The audience is not your problem. They are your salvation. That is very, very true. But you have to earn them. Be clear. They cannot read your mind. Listen to Frank Sinatra and Paul McCartney if you want to be a vocalist. Pronounce every single syllable. That would be my suggestion there. There are other great ones, Tony Bennett, but that's the two I listen to. And because people, if you're telling story songs, they need to hear the story. And that's just me personally. I mean, they're jazz singers. There's plenty of things out there, but that's just me personally. I try to enunciate my stories because they're really songs. They're really stories put to music. Words matter, yeah. I love this because we're both pilots. You may die flying the plane. You will certainly die not flying the plane. Take control. Basically, that means, you have to take control of yourself and your career. Good musicians know what to play. Great musicians know what not to play. Smarter words have never been said. Yeah, like that. That's exactly true. The great players. As an example, listen to the first Bob Marley Catch a Fire album. And there's a great guitar player that plays there. And Eddie Samuel, and he wasn't in the band or anything, but he does those licks in there. Yeah, Ernie Samuels, I'm sorry, that was it. But yeah, playing less is really a great thing. If you haven't heard, you've heard. It's no. Record companies are really good at that. If you hadn't heard, you heard, and then, like I said, go out and look for some options where you still have a little of your power left. It's sad to be ready and not called. It is tragic to be called and not ready. Yeah, be on your game. Practice. Effortless technique frees you to watch your music land. It is true, because practicing, because there's a very interesting thing as a player and a performer. And once I realized that I wanted to be a performer more than a player, I knew that I could hire good players, and the time came I could find some great ones. And I always rely on my band. They play eons above what is required for the music that I write, but the way they play and how they do it is pretty amazing. And finish your work. They cannot hear your vision in spite of what they say. You will come to love who you are. Don't panic during times of change. Keep playing. Microphone goes out, keep playing. It happened to me like 2 years ago. We're playing, it was like 25,000 people at the Pizza Hut in Chicago doing Brown Eyed Girl, and the complete system went out. So I just walked down to the foot stage and knew that I was not trying to reach them with my voice because I would blow it out, but I knew that they knew the song, and I went right to the sha-la-la-la when everybody sang it and had a good time. And that's it.
Honored that you would...
I love them.